Alright, what's up, guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you a freaking ridiculous Pokemon TCGO battle. After I had that match with the person using the Celebi Gigas deck, Regigigas deck, someone posted an article on 6 prizes that had Regigigas in that same deck, and I'm like, alright, well, I've got to try this now. I've made my thoughts on Gigas abundantly clear, but in spite of that fact, I just love the card. I think Regigigas is really awesome, and he kind of gets screwed over by being terrible in the game. Then he comes out on an EX, and he's still pretty terrible. But I was like, screw it. I'm taking out my Mewtwo's. I'm taking out my Tornadus, rather. I'm throwing in Gigas, and we're going to go with it. So this is basically the same as my Celebi Tornadus Mewtwo deck, except now I have 2 Regigigas. And yeah, it's way worse. It's way worse. Anyhow, my opponent has a really weird deck that shouldn't work at all. But in this match, oh guys, this match. Let me tell you about this match. This is probably one of the most infuriating matches I've ever had with someone who's not actually actively trying to cheat. Yeah, so originally I thought it was going to be one of those like Gardevoir, Darmanitan, Musharna engine decks that people try to play and aren't really that great, but instead she gets a Drowsy. So we've got 2 Munas and Drowsy and Regigigas. I don't know what to expect. I'm going to go for Dual Ball, hit 2 heads. That's probably going to be about the last time luck is with me during this match. I'm going to get a Celebi and a Gigas of my own. Drop him down on the bench. I can actually get him powered up. I can't quite attack. I obviously should have gone for that portrait first. Oh, I guess I couldn't because I needed to play the switch. I wasn't guaranteed to get it. So, yeah, switch Smeargle out, send Celebi in, and then just catcher out Drowsy. It's got 2 retreat, and it can't do anything from the active spot. Then I play an Oak. If I hit, a Junk Arm or another Switch or a Sky Arrow, be good to go, but I whiff. So I've just got a Celebi stuck active. Not cool. And too bad, because I had the rest of the stuff I needed. So there you see, I only run 2 Regigigas, just because starting with it is just about the worst thing ever. The only worst starter would be like maybe Shaman EX. It's okay to come back in this deck because you run so many switches, but it's still not good. So anyhow, I've also sped this match up 30%. It's at 130% speed because my opponent takes a long freaking time to think about what she wants to do. Not like stalling long, but just longer than normal. Especially when there's some just really obvious moves, she'll sit there and take quite a bit of time to make sure, yes, I actually want to take a prize. So anyhow, hopefully the speed will be okay. I cut about 8 minutes out total. So here, she gets a Musharna, the good one. Then she P-Coms for the bad one. And at this point, I'm like, alright, well, what the heck? Then she drags Gigas up and puts it to sleep after she used that thing. Oh my god. Lost Remover. Jeez. To put my DCE into the discard pile, so that's not cool. Or into the Lost Zone, rather. So I'm going to Junk Arm for the switch, because I didn't even know that Drowsy had an attack that did that. God, that's annoying, huh? And I dragged it up there. I should have definitely put something else out. So I'm bound and determined to use Gigas as my main attacker this match. So rather than throw the second one away, I bench it naked because, damn it, this is a Gigas deck and I'm going to use Gigas. So I even throw away my Mewtwo here to get my switch. I think I burned 3 Junk Arms just to get going. Clearly playing as hard as I can. But I am going to be able to go for the Giga Power and take out the Drowsy. Yes? No. Yes. Okay, I guess it's only got 60 HP. So I take it out. And I'm looking pretty good. She doesn't have any energy on the field, which is great. Her biggest threat is the bad Musharna. That's also great. And I have a catcher, so I can drag out her Gigas and start wailing on it next turn while it's still naked. So now she drops a Mew Prime. God knows what that thing was supposed to do. A little bit late for a see-off now. And she promoted Musharna, who has 3 retreat, but she's going to use something to put me to sleep. Hypnotic Ray. So now I just have to stay asleep for 2 turns. There's a 25% chance of that happening. And she'll get to hit me with Dream Eater for 90. So I don't want to risk that. I'm going to drop my Sky Arrow here because I'm about to Oak. Drag up. I think I pick her Gigas, because I want to try to take it out before it can attack me. And then I Professor Oak. See that pincer in there? That was a tech that the guy who posted the article on 6 Prizes had mentioned. Being really good against Terrakion and basically anything that doesn't energy accelerate. Probably should have used it here. I could have just drained her of energy and then won. But again, Gigas. We're all in with Gigas, so if that doesn't work, nothing. So she's got a 3-card hand. So let's watch what happens there. She attaches the Psychic Energy to Musharna. I'm still asleep, by the way. Like I said, 25% chance of that happening. And she gets a switch. So awesome. She's going to get to actually use Dream Eater. Basically had the Nut Hand with maybe a little help for that Musharna, but that is pretty much going to be how this match goes. Everything that she ever needs to happen happens. So I am still asleep 3 flips later. That's cool. I do get a switch, so I'm going to do that and put my final energy onto Regigigas. That'll let me use Raging Hammer and hit her for 160. So she's almost dead. And she doesn't have any energy. So unless she gets another switch in her 2-card hand, she's going to be safe. Now we see... she's going to be dead, rather. So Hypno comes down. He misses his sleep flip. And that last card she had was an Oak, which sucks for me. Good for her. She gets to get 6 new cards. And I believe she gets a switch here. She either gets it now... Something bad happens, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure that Gigas gets away from me. She attaches an energy to it. And then... Sorry, I forgot what happens and I'm just babbling now. But let's talk about what her deck does. So it's got Hypno, it's got the bad Musharna. What it does is she tries to get Hypno on the bench to put the defending Pokemon to sleep every turn and then let the bad Musharna use Dream Eater constantly without needing to go through the sleep flips for in between turns. So it's actually a pretty clever idea. It's a terrible deck, but it can work if everything goes right. And then she also has Darmanitan as the backup attacker, just to do damage, I guess. I mean, if I built this deck, I would cut it out and just go straight for the Musharna thing, but I don't know what Mew and Darmanitan are going in. But anyhow, she did stuff. She put that DCE. She got another switch, so I'm asleep again. I wake up. I can kill this thing right here. And I could Junk Arm, but yeah, not going to happen. I also am obviously not going to Juniper away 2 Junipers, a Junk Arm, and an N. That would be a disaster. So, unfortunately... Well, I guess not, unfortunately. This is a pretty solid hand. I get that Eviolite and attach it. I'm not going to put down the DCE because Lost Remover. I'd rather wait until a turn when I really need it to attack and do it then. So take out the annoying Musharna. And she's looking okay now. She can KO this Gigas with her own but then mine can just come in and KO that one back, or at least that's what I was thinking. Think she might end up stalling me here. Yeah, she hits the heads for the sleep this time. So I'm going to be asleep. Means I only have a 50% chance to be able to attack next turn, but I do have that switch in my hand again, which means I can get out of there. And now she plays a collector and gets some more Darmakas, I think. Oh, and a wheezing. So yeah, I don't know. So many things in this deck. Like I said, the Musharna idea is pretty cute, but all the rest of the stuff is just kind of getting in the way, usually, unless you draw perfectly, which she does. But anyhow, PCOM, we've got another Hypno coming in. She's going to evolve that one, and now she goes from 50% chance of sleeping me each turn to a 75% chance, which is good for her and annoying for me. But she doesn't have room on her bench for another Musharna, so I don't actually have to worry about Dream Eater, which should be good for me. The only thing that she really has that can do damage right now is Gigas. But now we've got Darmanitan 2, and she's got a DCE to go with it, so that thing could potentially hit for 100 if it flips double heads. Not too likely. Chances are it'll only be hitting for 50 right now, but that's all she needs here. If I'm at enough damage that I think one heads is going to take me out. So hits the odds there. That's about what you would expect, and takes me out. So here, I believe I'm going to promote. Do I promote Smeargle or Celebi? Celebi. Okay, I guess I'm banking on that grass energy, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get it here. I think I do. Yeah, I attached the DCE because I need to attack this turn. Not going to waste any time there. I don't want to... Oh, I guess I am going to play the Junk Arm. I don't think I should have done that because I'm going to need all the switches I can get since everything's going to be sleep all the time. But I'm planning on playing the N, ending us both down to 4, and I want it. This is kind of the last turn that it'll really be useful, probably, because I'm going to take 2 prizes here, and I don't want to end myself to 2. So I don't get a supporter here, but I do get a grass energy. That's going to give me 4, which is nice. I also have that dual ball, which I don't use yet. But yeah, I'm going to make sure I have 160 damage, so Giga Power is definitely going to be enough to take it out if I could select it. There we go. And I don't need to do the extra damage. Again, Eviolite doesn't work, so I should actually be able to do 80 without taking any recoil, but I can't. Not that it really mattered a whole lot this game, I think, but it is kind of annoying and just makes Gigas even worse than it already is. So there we go. I'm down to 2 prizes. Looking good, right? 2 to 4. I've got a Junk Arm. That means it's a catcher. That means something is dying next turn, no matter what. And I don't have a supporter. That's okay though. I've got enough to float for a couple of turns. And I just end her down to 4. So she does have the Musharna. That's going to help her recover from it better than I probably could. But I've also still got Smeargle. So if she does get a supporter, I can use that one too. So now she's got her second Hypno. That means that, like I said, there's a higher probability of me being asleep every turn. But I still am going to have at least a 50% chance because no matter how many Hypnos she has, I still get only 1 coin flip to wake up between. So still actually less than a 50% chance that I'll stay asleep. That I'll be put to sleep and stay asleep going into my turn. I guess 75 times 50, I don't know, maybe like 34, that's just a guess. But anyhow, she hits her second head, so I'm asleep. That sucks to be me. But I have a Junk Arm, so I can switch if I need to. I also have a super rod, not really going to do me a whole lot of good, but I can get out of it if I stay asleep. I have a way to get out of it if I need to. So in comes Darmanitan again. It's got 3 energy now. She hits 1, so that's going to do 30 damage. And yep, I stay asleep. So that sucks to be me. I don't have a whole lot of options here. I think what I'm going to do is Super Rod my other Regigigas back into the deck and then get it out with a dual ball because I want to use Regigigas. And then I'm going to have to... Or that's what I wanted to do, but then I realized I need to Junk Arm for the switch as well, so I'm going to have to toss the dual ball, which is okay for now because I don't need the other Regigigas right now, so I should be able to get it back later. And I think, yeah, I Super Rod it back in now, so I'm going to put the Gigas and some energy back in. And then go for the Portrait, hoping to hit something. Nope. I got another Darmanitan and a Psychic Energy. So that was kind of a waste, but at least I'm awake now. I can attack. Unfortunately, I don't have a catcher. Because I had to Junk Arm for the switch, because I stayed asleep, that means that I couldn't Junk Arm for the catcher to take a prize, so that really set me back, and I just decide not to attack here. If I go back into Gigas and attack, I'm not going to be able to take out the Darmanitan, and then on top of that, there's a 75% chance that I'm going to be asleep going into my next turn, and if I flip tails again, which has been happening quite a bit, I'm going to be stuck in there, and then I'm probably going to die, because if she attaches another DCE, God forbid, she'd be able to flip 5 coins, and she, at this point, needs, let's see, she needs to do 150, so she needs 4 heads to take me out. Because I have 30 damage, 150 would be 3 heads, but then a Violite would knock that down by 20. So she'd need 4 heads, not too likely, but you never know. So she plays another Collector here, probably just to get it out of her hand and to thin out her deck. And also so that my Smeargle can't use it, which would have been nice. I could get the other Gigas and start charging him up. But oh well, not a really big deal. I mean, I feel like I should be able to finish the game with the Gigas I have now. It's got 150 HP and an Eviolite, so it's looking pretty good. I can tank a hit, Raging Hammer back, and then take something else out. Plus, on top of that, she's still got to take 4 prizes, so that means even if she does manage to kill this one, she's got to kill another one too, and the chances of that happening are really unlikely. So rather than attach more energy to this Darmanitan, she attaches it to the benched one. Instead, I guess she figured she'd risk it here, go for trying to get 2 out of 3, but she only hits 1, and I wake up. So that's nice. And then I get the Juniper, which is real nice. I don't really want to get rid of that DCE, but I don't have a lot of choice. I think I just go ahead and Forced Breath onto the Regigigas I have, just because if she has another Lost Remover, I want to still be able to attack with it. So there we go. Get the other Gigas with my Juniper. I can start getting him charged up, and let's see, what can I do? I've got a plus power, but that is still only going to put me at 90 damage with Raging Hammer, so there's really no need. Why I went for Giga Power here, though, is beyond me. Obviously, I should have gone for Raging Hammer because it would have done 80 with no drawback, but it's not a real big deal because it's a 2-hit KO either way, so just a slight misplay that luckily isn't going to affect me too much. So my hand looks okay. I've got the energy retrieval. The main thing is I don't have another switch, and I'm already assuming that I'm just going to be asleep. So I do have an Oak, though, so hopefully I can Oak next turn and get a Junk Arm or a switch if I haven't used them all up yet. I'm not sure how many I've used. I'll probably need to check, but you can see here she's taken a really long time to do anything, and then that was quite a while as this is sped up, and then all that just to decide to try and use her poke power. So she hits heads there again. That means I'm asleep. So we're down to a 50% chance of me waking up. And here begins the absolute ridiculousness of the end of the match. Again, she's going to think about what she wants to do for a while. Puts a DCE onto Darmanitan number 2. And wait for it. She hits 3 heads. So that's 130 damage. And I'm still asleep. That's cool. And I don't have a way to get out of the active because I'm asleep again. Yep, none of that stuff is going to help me. Pincer actually might have if I had a switch, but I don't. So, yeah, just going to have to pass. That sucks. 3 out of 3 on heads. So now she only needs 1 to take me out, which obviously is going to be pretty easy to manage. Really good probability of that happening. And don't know what she's waiting for. There's not a whole lot to do here. She can use whatever Forewarn, I think, is the Musharna's ability. I guess I'm assuming that's what she's doing a lot of this time. Trying to decide which card she wants. I don't know. But now Darmanitan number 2 has 4 energy on it, so it's getting pretty scary. That means it's going to average about 100 damage per attack with a maximum of 200, which is definitely scary because that's enough to Oko my other Gigas. So I need this one to come in. It's obviously going to be able to take out the one active and then just tank 1 hit and take out the other one, and I'll be okay. So she hits a heads here. She only needed 1. She got 2, but that doesn't matter a whole lot. Bottom line is it's enough to take out my second Regigigas, and that's going to give her 2 more prizes. So now we are all tied up, and I'm in a little bit of trouble. So I promote Smeargle here. Hopefully I don't go for that portrait first. Yeah, I can't play the Juniper because I have only 7 cards left, so if I did that, I would just deck myself out, which meant I probably should have gone into Celebi and attached the Grass Energy via Forest Breath and then put the DCE on if I needed it too, but I only need 3 energy this turn to win, so just take out the Darmanitan, and yeah, I'm looking good. N would not be happy to see him right now, as it'd put me at 1 card, and I would have to draw into an energy to be able to attack. But unless she flips 4 heads on this Darmanitan, or if I stay asleep for, the 3rd or 4th turn in a row, I should be able to win, because all I have to do is just survive 1 turn and take the last thing out with a Raging Hammer. So she has a giant hand, which definitely scared me because I was almost sure she'd have an N in there somewhere, and I'd just end up short in energy, but I don't think she ends up with it. Or if she does, she chooses to play something else. So we'll see. Again, she's going to think for a while about which coin to flip, and she hits heads again, which is cool. I'm asleep again, so now, again, there's a 50% chance that I won't wake up the next turn. That would be bad. And yeah, see, I don't know what she's thinking about here. It just takes so long to do stuff. Okay, attaches an energy. So now she's got 5, which still should be okay. It's going to average, 100 or 150. That doesn't really matter because I'll be able to take her out the next turn, even if she flips 1 heads. And then, yeah, the plus power, again, doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the number of heads that she needs to be able to hit me with. So, yeah, all I have to do is not have her flip 4 heads out of 5, and I win the game. Oh, then I need to wake up. But still, I mean, even at this point, probability says I still win this game. The likelihood of all those things happening are pretty low. So she's going to put that stuff back into her deck, and then plus power again, which is, again, completely unnecessary. I guess she's just trying to get rid of them. Oh, and she flips 4 heads out of 5, and I die. And that's going to be the match. So, Regigigas fails me. He falls to the Hypno Musharna deck, the powerhouse deck of Hypno Musharna Darmanitan. And that is going to be the match. Needless to say, pretty infuriating. Seriously, the end of that match, if someone is good with probability and wants to figure out the probability of all that stuff happening, basically the last 3 turns of the match are just absolutely absurd. I'm sure that the probability of her winning that is well under 10%. But, who needs a good deck when you can just luck hacks your way to the win every time? So I'm not giving up on Gigas yet. I'm going to get a win with it, and it's going to be glorious. But for now, he fails to fight another day, and I will have more coming your way shortly. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and leave me a comment. And, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.